The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural, metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about. Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Journey Radio Show, and hey, we're the She Squatchers. I'm Jen Cruz, your host, and I've got my teammate Jena Grover. Hi, Jena.
Bonjour, hola, hello.
Oh yes, we're around the
I
road
know.
tonight.
Yes, we are multicultural.
We are missing our Tammy, and I got to tell you why we're missing our Tammy. Hey, it's her birthday.
Hey, it's a
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Tammy.
She can't be with us tonight because she's in an area that has not very good service, so she couldn't be with us. And it's her birthday, so
it's her birthday.
Celebrating her birthday, so that's why she isn't here. Anyway, we are here tonight, and we don't have a guest because we're trying something different. As we did last week, we just had us. And we're discussing topics of interest. And the first time we put it out there, we asked, is there any topics that you would like us to cover? We are not just Bigfoot researchers. We can cover a multitude of subjects. We are psychic mediums. There probably isn't a topic you could throw at us other than maybe politics that we can't cover.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
No politics, please.
No politics.
Yeah, we don't play that game. Anyway, so any subjects you would like, please let us know, and we'll consider those for future shows. I see that Sherry's in the chat room wishing Tammy a happy birthday. So when she watches this, happy birthday, Tammy.
Happy birthday. I love you. You know that. We love you.
Speaking of love, I had a wild hair up my bum a few minutes ago, and I just was like, oh, if only I could be with Jena tomorrow. I wonder how much a flight would cost. Click, click, click. Oh, cool. It's only like $300.
Do it. Yeah, she wrote me I had a wild hair, and I said, pluck it. Get over here.
Screenshot of the flight information.
Oh yeah, my gosh, yeah.
In the morning and coming back on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I do have clients.
Everything's good here, girl. We've got everything we need.
I know, right? Except
yes,
I have to work. So we do have an
expedition. You create your own schedule too, so.
Yes, but I do have to be here to earn money.
No, I'm kidding. I need money. Anyone who has a job. No, I'm kidding. That sounds terrible. I'm just broke too.
Our topic that we are going to, okay, so there's a question in the chat room. She says, you're going to cross a bridge. A knight stops you. He asks you, what is your favorite color? What do you say?
Ooh, a knight? As in a kingdom? Oh my goodness. Wow. I think I would just say, wow. What would you say? I have to think about it.
I think this is from a movie.
Oh shucks. I thought we were being asked it. And I thought that'd be a great one.
I don't remember the details of it, so I would probably say that my favorite color is red.
I'd be saying whatever you're wearing, darling. If he was in blue, I'd be like, blue.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad we talked about it. Anybody else have fun questions out there like that? Or questions that you're interested in us for?
It was a Monty Python question from the movie.
I love. You're not riding a horse. Those are coconuts. Anybody else love those shows? That was a Monty Python's Holy Grail.
The Fierce Bunny. That was my favorite. The Killer Bunny.
I love the Bring Out Your Dead. and they go clunk. Bring out your dead, and they just keep doing. People would bring out their dead people, shove them on the. Oh Lord, sorry guys, I'm squirrel.
Yes, yes. So, oh, I'm going to show you my new earrings. Have a look.
Oh yeah, I saw them better this time.
Yeah.
They are cute. I
Yeah.
love them.
So I purchased them with money that I got for my birthday. So thank you very much.
Oh, happy day.
Yes, yes. So they are native beaded earrings. Of course, I have an addiction to such things. If you haven't noticed yet, it was my birthday on Saturday, and I had a wonderful birthday. Met up with my friend Hannah and my mom and my daughter and Noelle, and we just had a fun lunch. And I was showing Hannah my earrings. I said I have a little bit of an addiction to earrings. She said no, couldn't
Yeah.
Facebook at all.
Right.
So yeah.
I think you've got a new pair of earrings for every picture you share, Jen. It's like, what? They're so pretty too.
There will be a picture for this one. I just got these in the mail today. So anyway, our show for tonight is not about earrings. It is about near-death experiences. And that was one of the topics that people had suggested that they wanted to hear us speak on. And you're lucky. Y'all are lucky out there because Jena, our own Jena Grover, has had a near-death experience. And I know her from before and after the event. And I'm going to tell you right now, she is not the same person
No.
she was before. So Jena,
Yes.
well, are you ready to talk about I asked her in preparation for deciding what we would talk about for the show. I'm like, are you ready to talk about your near-death experience on the radio? And she thought about it. She's like, yeah, I think I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I talked to everybody else about it. So being on the radio, I guess, won't be any different. But where should I start, Jen?
Well, just
the surgery or?
a brief. You had a surgery. You had a routine surgery. It was very basic, but they nicked.
All right, then I got it from there.
Okay.
Okay. So, did you hear what Jen said? I'm just kidding. No, I needed I originally had a partial hysterectomy, and that's where it all began. After the partial hysterectomy, I ended up in a lot of pain at home, and I said, I can't deal with this. This is no life. I can't do anything. And so I talked to my doctor, and he was a young doctor. He was kind of, he was wearing slippers in the office. So I thought, well, okay. Anyway, I had asked him, I said, well, could we do a laparoscopy to make sure there's nothing in there? Because I knew, as a human being, you know your body and how your body feels. You can feel pinpoints of pain, the whole works. And I asked the doctor, I said, can we do a laparoscopy? And he said, we're probably not going to find anything, just to let you know. He said, but yeah, we can schedule it. And I said, okay. So I went in for a laparoscopy, I think a week or two later, and everything just went great. And I woke up in a hospital room, and a nurse came in. She said, okay, you're going to be ready to go. So I was ready to go. I went home, and they said, just rest up. That's what I did. I rested. And I was getting to feel more and more pain. And I was thinking, this is really strange. And as if God took my dog and threw my dog at my belly, I was septic. And when my dog pounced on my belly, all the acid came flying out. That's when I knew if I don't go to the doctor or the emergency room, I'm dead. I mean, I was laying in the bed, literally dying in pain. And so we finally get to the hospital, and they put me in a room after an hour of waiting. Unfortunately, it was a pretty busy day, but they put me into a room, and I laid there, and they did a bunch of tests on me. And the surgeon came over, and he said, Jennifer, this is serious. Because at the time I was telling my family who was there, I said, don't worry about it. It's probably just gas, trying to make sure everybody else was okay. And he looked at me and he said, Jennifer, this is serious. He said, you could he said, you could, and then almost like he was going to say die. And he said, you could wake up with an ostomy bag. And my mind was like, I was scared. What do you do? You're put in a situation like this, and you're wondering, okay, what do I do next? So about that time, my body actually started shutting down. I started shaking. My entire body started to shake. I was losing breath. I couldn't breathe anymore. And that's when I went out. Did you have a question, Jen?
No, I'm just
Oh,
listening.
okay. So hopefully I'm explaining this clear. So anyway, the next thing I know, I am standing in an absolutely beautiful meadow. And on the right to me, there was a line of trees, so tall and so high and so gorgeous. I can't even explain the color, but they were so high and beautiful. And then as I followed them down, I saw that there was another line of trees going this way. And where they met, there was a door, right? Oh, you can't see. Well, there was a door in between where the two lines of trees met, and I could tell that it was a gateway because there was a stone path leading to the right. And as I looked at the stone path, I realized there was a man on a horse, a single man on a horse. I don't remember what color the horse was. I don't remember anything about how he necessarily looked, but I remember seeing this man riding the horse toward the gate. And as he got closer to the gate, he he looked at me and made eye contact with me. And at that point, I really wanted to jump on. I wanted to jump on so much, but there was two boys, children, on the back of his horse. And I thought, I can't, I won't fit. So I thought I hesitated and I got so angry with myself because the next thing I know, I'm out of there. Um, I really do believe that those two young boys, the children's, as in all God's children, were my father and my brother who had passed away in the past 5 years. So I think they were like, no, Jena, no, you're not going to leave. You're going to stay and do this. So yeah, it was just incredible. But I have to tell you about the trees and the colors and the feelings were incredible. The feeling that I felt standing in that meadow wasn't, it wasn't, oh, I'm so happy, or it was just a feel of contentment where you weren't happy, you weren't sad, you were just there, like how you should be. You're just there. And it was absolutely beautiful. There was a few other things that happened, Jen. I know I talked to you about them. Did you?
Well, okay, so all of a sudden, when you were leaving that place, can you describe how you left that place?
No, no, there was no doorways. There was no, I mean, for me, because I was a visitor. I wasn't a resident. I was a visitor. So there was no hallways or walking. I never saw any light. I went straight to the meadow and was amazed. And here's the thing, too, I have to say, as I was standing there, I looked at the trees and I looked at the grass. The grass had to be, I mean, it was so tall that it moved like waves. It looked like waves with the wind. So that's when I realized, okay, this is really strange. That's when I realized I'm not in my body anymore because I didn't feel the wind, but I saw it affecting other things. So I saw those trees and those leaves going like this, and they were amazing. They were happy. They were like, it was like they were welcoming me. I just absolutely loved it. And the grass, like I said, was moving. And I say this and I'm thinking, I don't feel anything on my body, and that's what I realized. I wasn't in a body. But getting back to the man on the horse with the two boys on back, they were pretty close to the gate. And when I made eye contact with the person that I believe was Jesus Christ, I looked him in the eyes and he looked me in the eyes, and it was like a vacuum was like a huge vacuum was vacuuming my body back into, or my spirit, whatever I was, my energy, my being. It sucked me back, and then I was in my bed again. So, I mean, it was an amazing experience. And like Jen said, you change after things like that. Before that happened to me, I was angry. I always thought people, like, I was always looking at the negative. And people, I thought people were like always talking about me or upset with me, or, I was just in a constant state of worry. And after everything is like taken away, you lose that worry because you have gone through the experience that you have dreaded. Death is a scary thing. What I went through was not scary. It was absolutely beautiful. Are there any questions?
I think that's important that the important part is that it wasn't scary. It was beautiful.
It was
And you
beautiful.
wanted to go back there.
I did. I was so mad at myself for so long because I blamed myself that I did not jump on that horse. And I was so angry at myself. And that's what happens. You know, it's such a beautiful, beautiful space. You just want to continue on. And if you can't, you're mad at yourself. But I learned that it wasn't my time and that it wasn't me necessarily losing that moment, like I should have done something or jumped on that horse. It was me realizing who those two boys represented or who they were. So my brother had just died, I think 5 or 6 months before I almost died. So
That would have been awful for your mother. I'm just saying.
oh, she had just, her husband, my father, died 5 years prior to me dying. And then my brother had just died, I mean, months before me. And she didn't know what to do. She was at a loss. She was hurting so hard. So yeah, it was absolutely horrible for my family because I'm really loved. Our family is close. We love each other. You know, we're close, man. Love is a huge thing. And when you capture it, you really want to keep it.
It's a
So,
beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Not everybody will stand up and say, my family loves each other and we're close.
right. Oh, we fight like the Dickens, but you know what? We always love each other. We will always do everything we can for each other. We are there for each other, and it's amazing. And they're just like me, too. So we have a lot of fun. It's all a good time. And I tell you, it has a lot to do with what I've gone through in life. Yeah.
So there is a question in the chat room from Sherry.
Okay.
She's asking, do life reviews count as NDEs? So
I had one.
she did have a life review and she just hasn't shared that part yet. So when and how did that come about?
I had walked through a door and it was a very small room. And I looked around and it was as if all was wallpaper all over the walls. And I saw people I knew, people I didn't know. And there were pictures and there was videos and there was black and white and there was colored. And I sat there and looked and I was looking and I was like, oh my gosh. And then there was this, as I was looking around, I saw this little elderly Black woman, just precious looking. And she had curly hair and she was just beautiful. And she was in a tiny chair and she sat right next to a door. And as I was looking at everything, she said, "You're seeing this, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You shouldn't be." And she pointed me out a door to my left. She was almost like right to my right, but almost in front of me. Whereas this other door was on the left. So life reviews, you will be responsible for everything you're doing. So make good choices. Make such good choices today that you're going to be proud tomorrow of yourself.
So I don't know, like, do you think that the life review is where you're being held accountable, or is it just you're going over your life and the things that you could have done better to learn from those?
The review room, I think it is a room to really figure out what you did in life, and it's a lesson. I, however, was not supposed to be there and I was not supposed to see it, so we didn't continue with that part. But
I bet you it's because she's so perfect.
Oh my gosh. Wait, Mia, the little lady in there.
You. I was
Jen.
a joke.
Don't tell me it was a joke. I know perfect doesn't exist, but thanks, Jen.
All right. So there's another question in the chat room. Is a life review considered life flashing before your eyes?
I personally, from what I've gone through, I don't believe it is. I think we have to go through certain things after we pass, and we have to look at what we've done in our world, as a human being, because life is hard. So I think it's all a learning lesson. What about you, Jen?
I think sometimes people do experience a life flashing before their eyes, but I don't think that's life review. Life review is more of a sit down with somebody, a guide of some type, and you're going over the experiences in your life and things that you could have done better. And I think we start this life out prior to being in the body, we decide the things that we want to learn and the things that we want to experience and the things that we want to accomplish in this life. And I think that we set those goals out. So I think perhaps the life review room, when you do that, you're going over the things that you had set aside as your goals. Did you complete your goals? Did you not complete your goals? You know, did you pass this test or not? And yeah, so remember what I always say, this is a test. This is only a test.
Yes. And you know, another thing about those tests, it's not about how much pain you're going through at the time. That's nothing. It's getting through it. It's getting through the pain. It's getting through the suffering. It's learning to love yourself in so many different ways and accept that, yeah, you're not perfect and you are going to struggle, and just make good decisions. Your life could change instantly just by one decision.
That's very true. So Sherry in the chat room had shared earlier that she had some life review sessions already, and I asked her what were they like, and here's her response. She says, mine were sit-down sessions like what was said on air. We talked a lot, and that I don't need any more physical lives.
Wow.
So
Beautiful.
the other question, Sherry, was this, in, you know, you didn't die to have this experience? That's pretty cool. You know, how did that come about? That's my follow-up question for Sherry. So yeah, we'll see what she has to say in the chat. So, so another person said they'd never heard the terminology life review before. So it's definitely something to look into. It is commonly talked about how that it is, you literally are sitting down and you're reviewing the things that happened in your life. So I often wonder, do we have to repeat the same life again? Is that where deja vu comes from? Because we were like, oh, I screwed that up, better do that over. You know, I've often wondered that myself. So
you don't think it's maybe the different universes layering? I thought
they could be, but you know, when we talked about last week about the multiverse and the parallel universes and what happens when you slide into another parallel universe? What happens to the consciousness that was in your body? Did you push it out into the next one? That type of thing. There are scientists who believe that in the multiverse, these parallel universes are flat as paper and they stack on top of each other. There are infinite number amounts of parallel universes that are almost identical to the one that we're in right now. Just something different has happened there. And where anything that ever could have happened did happen in one of those universes. And we exist in all of them in some way, shape, or form. So I'm wondering, so the scientists, there are scientists who believe that it's possible that we're living in a computer simulation and that this is just part of that simulation. And if that is the case, you start going through the scenarios of what could that possibly be? Why would we be in a simulation? And if we're not just AI or some type of a sim character ourselves, what if we have a body outside of this and this is some type of a thing that we've uploaded our consciousness into and we're experiencing it? The possibility, the idea has hit me many times that something went something went terribly wrong and we're stuck in here and they're trying to get us out. So maybe we just go through our lives, and so the scientists actually do think that sometimes when we die, we just move on into a parallel universe and we just continue living without knowing that we died at all. And so we just move into a parallel. But so then the question goes, what happens when we get old? When we're old? Well, eventually we know we have to die. So is that when we would then just start over? So that's the idea that's kind of fluctuating in my mind sometimes. Did we just start over? And these deja vu moments, and I mean super scary, very solid. I've been here. I did this before. This is so unique. I remember this. You know, those deja vu moments that stick with you.
Many of us, I'm sure, have had those.
Memory of having done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we just reliving the same thing whole life span until they figure out how to get us out? Wouldn't that be
interesting? You know, okay, so That would be cool. But speaking of deja vus, I remember being at one of our events and it was like I could literally say the words a millisecond before they did. Like I heard the words. And that's what my thought was. It has to be deja vu because I knew these words. I knew they recognized every person. And I thought, I don't think I've been here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the type that you're talking about?
There's one deja vu that I had that was so very strong. I was in a motel in the middle of nowhere, and I guarantee you I had never been there before, ever. And in this motel room, the bathroom was just a weird shape. It was like a triangle shape inside, and it had the shower in there and then a towel rack. And there was no mirror in there at all. So I get out of the shower and I'm trying to see if you know how when you wear eyeliner, sometimes you get out of the shower and it didn't come off in the shower, but it's now streaking down your face like big black cat eye. And so I was trying to look to see, did I get it all off in the shower or do I have big black mess underneath my eye? And there's no mirror. So I find myself bent over in front of this towel rack, in the metallic towel rack, trying to see my reflection in it. And as I did that, I remembered I had done that before. Very specifically, I had done that exact thing before. And I was also thinking about how weird this bathroom was shaped. It was just, there's no way that there was another place that was designed that way ever, anywhere else.
But that's
so bizarre.
But that's where the question is it something psychic or is it like, did we see it prior or are we experiencing it prior?
In that moment, I remember doing that exact same thing before. I had done it before and I said, I've done this before. I've been here before. And then my next thought was, I made the wrong choice, which is the right choice. Like this was a determining factor. That was what came to me in that moment.
I was just telling my mom that.
Really? That's what
about choices.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That I thought that was telling me that I had somehow made the wrong choice and that this was my opportunity to make a different choice. And then I just stood there going, which choice was it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what came to me through that. But and then I was panicked because I wasn't sure which choice I should have made differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to the topic of the day, has anybody listening out there, have you had any experiences or do you have any input you'd like to share?
Well, that you're just talking to the people in the chat room, so our YouTube followers can't interact with us live. So I'm sorry about that.
But they can type it. They can type it for after.
They can sure do that in our comment section, and of course, we'd love to hear from them as well. So please comment in the section. We'd love to hear it. So
oh, sorry, go ahead.
We're going to be going to break here in a little while, and then we're going to go into the effects of having an NDE in your life and how that changes people and how that affects people. So we're going to be going into that, but not right now. Not right now. But, Jena, are you glad that you had an NDE?
To be honest, I am glad I went through the hardships that I went through because I am who I am right now. And I'm proud of myself that, I can make good decisions and I can be conscious about other people's situations and I can be feel so much empathy because I understand, So yeah, I'm really glad that I went through every hardship I have because I have my empathy is huge.
There you go. There you go.
But it was darn hard, I'll say that, because I literally had to work to walk and talk again. I don't know if everybody knows all that, but anyway.
Well, when we come back, we can talk about the coma. Jena was in a coma for quite a while, and we'll talk more about that. But for right now, we're going to go to our break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, everybody.
Hi.
Jena.
What?
Good job, Jena.
Oh, thank you. It's how I roll, Jen. It's how I roll.
I found a website that just kind of lists the different effects that people have after having an NDE. So we'll go through that and then we'll ask you how that relates to you. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I don't think I ever really looked up things about coma victims. And if I have, it's gone. It's like, yeah. But I'm kind of glad I haven't, because now I can hear it from a fresh pair of ears and see if I identify with it. I've talked to so many people who have been in comas too. It's just crazy.
Okay.
So is that coffee you said, Jen, or straight vodka like you told me? I'm kidding.
This is the green matcha tea that you gave me that's made from mushrooms.
Yes. Are you
And
loving it?
I like it with a lot of really sweet creamer.
Have you noticed how earthy it tastes?
It does taste earthy, and I do enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot.
I do too.
Then why did you give it to me?
I like it too. Because they kept sending me bags and they kept charging me, and I kept saying no. I quit. I told them I didn't want anymore. And then I got like 3 more months and I was traveling, so I never saw the. Oh, yeah, I called them and I said no. And I said I don't want it, and they said don't send it back. Give it to a friend. I said they don't want it. So I finally gave up and gave it to a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I do like your cup.
I like my cup too. It says, I'd rather be in bed. I'd rather be in bed. That's what it says.
You know, bed is nice, but outdoors is better.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Hey, this is the Journey Radio Show, and we are the She Squatchers. Won't you check us out online at shesquatchers.com? And there you can see what's going on with us. But our most up-to-date, in-the-moment things, happenings with us will be on our Facebook page and Instagram. And, of course, check out our YouTube channel. All of them can be found under She Squatchers Official. So please like and follow us there on all the social medias. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notifications bell so that you are notified when we upload a new video for your liking and for your pleasure. So there you go. There's lots of videos. I think there's like, I don't know, I'm guessing now, 260 videos that we've uploaded now. So lots of time to be watching stuff if they want. And it's free to watch that. So check it out. So, and there are going to be shows that we've done in the past, as well as, solo night hikes, things that we've found out.
Jen loves her solo night hikes.
I do. And I think people enjoy them too, and I have a little theory that if I look straight ahead and I point in my camera and the flashlight into the woods, that maybe they won't think I'm looking because I'm really not, and maybe they'll show up on the camera. And I don't really watch the videos. I just put them up there, put them up on YouTube so everybody can have fun looking through them and see if they see anything there. So that's what the solar night hikes are about. I actually am really excited to start recording new ones because I got new flashlights that are stronger. Okay. And yeah, and I got a new microphone for my solo night hike. So it's a boom mic that has double ends and it does not noise cancel. So if there's any whoops or anything in the distance, it'll pick it up. Pretty excited.
Nice. Pretty excited. Now, where did you get that one?
I got it on Amazon, and I asked Jason Kenzie, our filmmaker, for help in finding the right kind of microphone that I wanted to do the thing that I wanted it to do. And he sent me the link to that.
It's funny, Jason, you always help Jen, but never me.
Did you ask him?
No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to start drama. Fun drama. Love drama.
Well, so we're going to get back to the show, and we're talking about near-death experiences. And Jena was in a coma for quite some time. So why don't you touch on that? When you were in a coma, what was that like for you?
Well, that's the funny thing. You don't really remember coma. You're not supposed to remember a lot during a coma. So in continuance of the other story, after they got me into emergency surgery, they could not have me move. I was completely septic in my intestinal area. So they put me in a coma. They induced me into a 2 to 3 weeks. I don't remember how many. But anyway, I was in a coma and I was seeing so many things. Jen, I don't remember suddenly. What other things did I see?
I remember that your sister had brought little letters to communicate with you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so what had happened was when I finally woke up out of the coma, because they were typing, on they were asking people to pray for me and online, and people were being wonderful, and they were trying to get me to breathe. And so I wasn't fully functioning. I couldn't breathe on my own, and I finally was able to, and I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't walk, talk, anything. And my sister is a teacher, or was a teacher, so she wrote the alphabet on one of those whiteboards. And I remembered I was laying down, and she said, "Jena, are you okay? What's wrong? What, are you okay?" And I just remember trying to point to the board, and my finger was like this. I had no control over it. And all of a sudden, and I didn't know this until months after my coma, but my sister said, "Jena," she goes, "I don't know how you pointed that out." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "When we had that whiteboard." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, you wrote 'Jena wants to live.'" And I was like, "What?" Because I could not move. I could not make my finger touch anything. So if it spelled that out, also, why would I say Jena, and just I is much easier to spell, right? Not my name. So it was incredible. Yeah, I've I just feel blessed. I can't tell you how blessed I feel.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many times that I've been saved from different things. And it's not just us. It's not just us out there, guys. It's not. Accept it.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I had an experience where I was in the hospital in the emergency room, and they thought I was having a blood clot. Uh, and I was scared. And that was like the first time I had ever been scared for my health. Like, oh my gosh, I could die. Because my best friend,
Oh.
Nikki, died from a blood clot. And it was sudden. She was just boom, she was gone. And now they were saying I might have a blood clot. And I was having a hard time breathing. And I'm a Reiki healer. And so anybody out there who is a Reiki healer knows that healers will often pray to Archangel Raphael, right? For it, because he's the angel of for healers. And I had never called out to him before, ever. And all of a sudden I was like, "Archangel Raphael, help me. I'm so scared," you know? And I'm like, "Please come, please help me." And there was a lady in the room with me, and I thought she was my nurse, and she was doing something at the sink. And all of a sudden, this young man, like 30 seconds after I said that prayer quietly in my head, I was screaming it in my head, but I was being silent. Um, this young man walked in the door, and his little eyes were sparkling, and he looked to be like 30 years old, just this perfect, handsome young man. And he says, "Hi, Jennifer. I'm Raphael. I'll be your nurse tonight." And I went, and I know my mouth just dropped wide open, and I was like, "Ah." And, and I said, do you know that Archangel Raphael is the one that healers pray to for help?" And he said, "Well, yes, I did know that." And he winked at me. And I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh,
And
for fun. I bet you were freaked out. Were you drugged up at the time?
no. And so the
Wow.
doctor came in and was still talking blood clot, and I was so scared. And as soon as the doctor walked out, Raphael said to me, "Don't you worry, it's not a blood clot, but here, just chew these, and you're going to be just fine." And he just kept disagreeing with whatever the doctor said, and he would tell me that I was
Wait,
going to be just fine.
what did you chew? What did you
Just
chew? What did he give you to chew?
they gave me aspirins to chew.
Oh, I thought it was something magical. You've got
No,
me so excited
magic
about this story.
aspirins, Jenna. It was magic aspirins. Anyway, so just it was how it all played out, and I was like, you know what? I think angels are really do come to us when we need them if we ask them to. So, just how I feel about that. Anyway, we wanted to get back to the near-death experiences and how they affected people. They leave a lasting imprint on those who experience them. Um, and we can focus on shifts in spirituality, personality, and overall outlook on life. So, um, I've known Jenna for many, many years, and literally she changed from before and after. And, there's many different aspects of her that have appeared different to me. And so like the shift in person or in spirituality, did you have a shift in that, Jenna?
I did. Okay, so I've always been a Christian, but I didn't have a relationship with Christ until after I lived that. And that was my experience. Other people may not see Christ at all, but it did. It was amazing.
So, the information online talks about how it's not necessarily a shift deeper into religion, but more in a personal spiritual connection with that source. And
Well, I ended up actually starting to go to a Bible study because after what had happened to me, Jen, I literally wanted to know more. I wanted to know more. And yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, I can't stop saying it, but it is.
so did it alter your beliefs about pre-existing beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife? Were they altered? Yeah.
All of them. Yeah. You look at life so differently. The big thing is you find yourself being more present every day and enjoying the little things and seeing the little blessings that we pass by so often. A bug, a bug can make me so happy. So can diamonds. So I'd like diamonds too, but bugs can make me happy just fine.
You can keep the bugs.
Yeah.
I'll do without. So, change. Did you have a change in your personality? Because they're saying that that's a very common thing that happens. And
Yes, I went from being
yeah.
negative and I was always worried. Like I was always worried. And now, like I said, I'm more present and I give love instead of negative thoughts. I just, the one thing I have realized though is that I can't live in a negative space because that will make me shrink inside. So I have to be around positive people too, because if I'm not, those negative people they can turn me into a mush. So just saying. I shouldn't have said that. Now everybody knows all the negative people are going to come get me.
No, they won't, Jenna. So
I'm teasing.
these are the things that are commonly listed for people who have gone through an NDE: a greater empathy and compassion, increased sense of empathy towards others, and they may become more altruistic, caring, and less competitive. I don't know, Jenna's.
Ooh, I am pretty competitive. I am competitive, but not on purpose. Our family is competitive, man. If we do it, we do not let anybody win.
Then they also reported diminished materialistic and career-oriented ambitions. So they shift away from materialistic values and high-powered career mindset towards valuing personal growth and interpersonal relationships more.
100%.
Yep. And then an increased appreciation for life, the simple joys of life, cherishing moments they might have previously overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Altered perception of death and dying.
Yes. Yes.
So they most report the significant reduction in their fear of death, that it can lead to a more courageous approach to life and all of its challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Philosophical and existential insights. You may spend more time pondering questions, or often arriving at peace with the concept of mortality.
Definitely.
People report having an enhanced intuitive sensations. Do you think you became more psychic?
I don't think I became more psychic, but I became more open to tell people about it.
Okay.
It's always been a secret. I never really talked about it with a lot of people. It was embarrassing.
That was the next thing they listed about challenges in
Oh,
reintegration and not knowing how to share this with others, and feeling kind of like an outsider in that aspect. And the
mm-hmm.
importance of finding others that you can share this with, so you can share this.
Definitely.
Erase that part of your
And
life.
you know, since that all happened, there has been multiple people put in my lives where I have been able to tell them a story that I went through, and it has helped them. You know, just to explain what a person goes through, even about death. You know, just to have someone to talk to who's been so close. You know, I love helping people. I love people. Most people.
The psychological aftermath. So positive psychological growth is one thing that you could expect. For many, the experience leads to positive psychological growth, a phenomenon akin to post-traumatic growth, where individuals find positive change through struggling with challenging life circumstances.
Yes.
And then there's a potential for some distress. You may struggle with integrating the experience that you've had into your life, leading to confusion,
Oh, no.
distress, and in some cases, similar symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder, because you just don't know how to live in this world again.
Yeah.
After being in
No, I don't think I had an issue with that.
Okay.
But you're
So,
seeing it from a different point of
yeah. So they're saying the long-term impact of NDEs on individuals is profound, and it varies greatly. So it can really change to significant positive transformations, and also pose challenges in terms of integration and adjustment. Understanding the after effects is crucial for providing support to anyone who's had an NDE experience. And these experiences underscore the resilience and adaptability of our human spirit. So, and I think that they serve to help others to understand what might come after as well. Because Jenna is totally like, I'm not scared to die. Let's go. Been there, done that. Let's do it.
Hey, you know what? That's what life is all about. It's not putting yourself in a dangerous situation, but putting yourself somewhere where you're going to do something that challenges you. You know, I love that. Challenging myself because I've already done so much. You know, you just want to do more. And I would have never joined She Squatchers had I not have gone through everything that I had gone through up to that point.
Right?
So,
Because, you know, there's sometimes where we're doing stuff and I later think, wow, maybe I should have been scared of that. Maybe that wasn't really a smart thing to do. Maybe I should have been scared, but I wasn't.
yeah.
But maybe I should have been, you know, type of thing.
Honestly, I don't question myself. I think if we're out somewhere, I'm going to deal with that right there and then find out how I deal with it. You know, but when it comes to being fearful, if it's just doing something like stepping on a rock and jumping over a river, that should be easy, right? Some people have a problem with it. They can't jump. You know, I don't want to be a person that sees struggle in front of me and not want to jump across the river. I will jump every time I can. I'm 50.
Oh, dear, here we go. Here we go.
I
Did
know.
you order those shoes?
I didn't.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't.
We're looking at waterproof shoes for hiking because we're going to be doing some creek hiking, I guess, on our next
I'm so
expedition
excited.
in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to order those shoes. Yeah. We were looking at water shoes for hiking, but I can't find any that have ankle support, and I need ankle support. So I'm just going to go with waterproof hiking shoes and have two pairs so that if they don't dry in time, I have another pair. So that's
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to go.
I have strong legs and ankles, but I still want to use those ankle support because you just never know what you're stepping on. There are logs, there are sticks, there are holes, there's animals. So I think that's really important.
Where we're walking through tall grasses, it's really hard to tell what you're stepping on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Any other questions in the chat room, please put them in there now and we'll have a little bit of time to answer them or at least discuss. Sherry was in there saying yes, she's a big yes, altered view of death and dying for sure. She's had that. She's had that.
Yeah. It's just such a different perspective that you're looking at. You're looking through a different perspective because everything is different. You look at that sun and you look at that moon and you could say good morning, hello, I love you to the sun and moon. That feels so good. Or walk by a tree and run your hand across it or put your hand on it. Life is so beautiful if we just look, notice.
Yes, very much so.
You look so tired. You look so tired. Who are you messaging just now?
Huh?
Who are you messaging just now?
Oh, I just got a message from somebody who sent me a Temu gift, apparently.
Oh,
The message popped up, and will you accept these gifts? I'm like, what gifts? I love gifts.
oh, that's awesome.
I think it's for people who have never used that app. And I have used the app even earlier today. So,
Oh,
anyway,
I won't open that Temu up. I'd be addicted, and I can't do it.
you would be. That is very.
I would be. See, yes. I'm not going to fall into that trap. Amazon already got me.
I'm gonna, since we have about 9 minutes of the show left, I'm gonna coax you into telling the story about when you were in a coma and coming in. You've come out of the coma now, and everything's very confusing. You had to learn how to walk and talk again, but you were preparing for a wonderful ball.
Oh my gosh, I was. Oh my gosh. So I will say, coming out of a coma, it's not like the movies where all of a sudden they're like, oh, that was tough. No, it's not. Your whole brain, everything is like, and you can't do anything. When I finally was able to talk, I had to explain to my family that I needed to get out of bed because I had a ball to go to. And my sister, who was there every day, and my mom, she would say, Jena, you're not going to a ball. And I said, yes, I am. I said, I even know, I can tell you where I'm going to get my hair done. And finally, I went on and on and on for days and days and days talking about this ball. And it wasn't until, and I'm talking about a dancing ball. I needed to get a gown. And I asked the nurse, I said, hi, I said, I was just wondering if you had any gowns. And she said, oh yeah, we've got them in pink and we've got them in blue. And I said, no, ball gown. And everybody, because they thought I was sober at this point, they thought, wow, she's really got it together. Yeah. And when I said that, they looked at each other like, something's wrong with her. And then they knew I was way out of it because I was seriously going to a ball. And even at that point, I was still going, even though they didn't understand it. I was just like, and then it took my sister asking me, Jena, who is going to all be at this ball? Because I said, there's famous people. And she asked me who all was going to be at this ball. And I said, the I Dream of Jeannie girl. And I started mentioning all these people who were half were dead, half were like from the 60s show. And oh my goodness. And yeah, so it was embarrassing.
And then you realized that there was no ball?
After she asked me about who was going to be there, I realized that I probably wasn't going to be meeting dun, 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 dun. What's her face? I don't know her name. I forgot.
I Dream of Jeannie girl. I don't know her name.
Yes. I love her, but I don't know her name.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. And I even had a place I was going to go, I swear. And this is why they were so mad at me, because I kept trying to get out of the bed. And that's why they kept getting, because they actually put an alarm on me because I kept trying to, I put one leg over the side and I think I'd be sneaky about it. And I try to get out of bed.
Oh, you haven't changed it. You haven't changed
well, not that part. That part. But I was so drugged out. I mean, really. But I remember certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been there in the hospital with you on other occasions where you were trying to sneak out of the bed and escape. Ugh. I
don't do it on purpose.
Myself.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. If it wasn't online, if this was not probably, I would probably tell the doctor about, or I'd tell the story about the doctor.
We're not going to that.
I cannot go. I made such a horrible comment. I thought something was happening. And I made a horrible comment to the doctor. He thought I was very serious at that point. And I threw him for such a loop. And I can't say it on air because
it is too bad.
I can't. It is too bad.
It's too bad.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered another thing. I was with Jason at the time, and I told Jason, I said, I know you're having a baby with my sister. I forgive you. He was like, what? I don't know.
Which sister?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Chris, the blonde. I know. And he was just like, what? But at the time, in my mind, I was just like, it's okay. I thought I was being a good person. It's okay. I forgive you.
Oh, that's funny.
The things people
They
say.
obviously had you pumped full of lots of medication at that point.
Oh, yeah. Well, still at that time, I was still open from above my belly button all the way down. So, yeah, they had to keep me quite
Medicated.
happy, medicated. So I quit getting out of the bed. One leg, man. I'd always put one leg over.
Yep. Yep.
But I have to admit, though, I do that at home, too. Like, when I'm trying to get out of bed, I'll, like, put my left leg out on the floor, like, get up, Jenna, get up. And I get up. That's all I have to say now. But when it comes to going through that kind of stuff and NDEs, you really have to ask for your brain back. You really lose a lot. That is a big one. But I have to also say, losing a lot actually helped me a lot because I wasn't so attached to the past. So
There you go. There you go.
yes.
I love it.
Do
So
you, Jen?
I do. In a few minutes, we just have a few minutes left, so let's talk about where we're going for an expedition real quick. We're going to go to Michigan, and I can't tell you exactly where, because we don't like anybody to know where we are until we aren't there anymore. So we're going to be in Michigan, and I love Michigan. We've explored Michigan before, but this is going to be a different place that we've been. Really cool things. We're going to be with Jason Kenzie, of course, again, and Chad and Sherry and Gwendolyn. Unfortunately, Tammy will not be able to join us. So this time, so it'll just be Jenna and I with them. So Tammy in spirit, we love you, Tammy.
Yes.
But it's going to be a good time. So that's going to be our last half of September. We'll be in Michigan. So for all you Michiganders out there, cheers. We'll be there.
And then where are we going in October? Yes, we love you, Michigan.
We're not talking about October.
Oh.
Okay. But we will be, one thing we'll talk about in October, we're going to be at ValleyCon in Fargo. So please come see us October 18th, 19th, and 20th in Fargo, North Dakota at the Ramada. We'll be speaking at ValleyCon, which will be really fun. And we'll be up in light. The billboard is going to go live next week, I believe, on 16 billboards.
Yay!
The She Squatchers are coming to ValleyCon.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. So we'll share that.
Will you take a video?
I will.
Take a video for me.
I'll put it up on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And everybody can see it. So yeah, that'll be a good time. That was a fun event. That was a really fun event.
Oh my gosh, it was. It was so awesome. But it's not my turn this year. I did it last year. It's you and Tammy's shot.
I don't need to do it, so it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. In the chat room, they're talking about Michigan fudge. I didn't know that they were known for their fudge, Jenna. They're known for fudge. We have to have it.
I love sugar, but I'm on a diet. But you know what? Just for you guys, I'm going to taste your fudge.
We have to try the Michigan fudge.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I love
fudge. In little portions.
I know you better than that. She'll have all the portions. Thank you.
I'll have them all, but in little portions. Bite-sized pieces.
Okay. That's the end of the show. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Good night, everybody. We love you.